Welcome to Audiobook 365 Stories.
After the revolution, Caroline, who lost, starts a very bad plan. This plan makes Adolphe feel sorry for winning. Caroline always says, "Just as you like," in a sweet but scary way. She acts like she is very sad all the time. Everything she does and says makes Adolphe feel bad. Here are some examples. After breakfast. "Caroline, we go to the Descartes' big party tonight, you know." "Yes, dear." After dinner. "What? Not dressed yet, Caroline," says Adolphe, who is dressed very nicely. He sees Caroline wearing an old dress. The dress is black and looks very old. The flowers on it look fake. Her hair is messy. Her gloves are old and used. "I am ready, dear." "What, in that dress?" "I have no other dress." "A new dress would cost 300 francs. Why did you not tell me?" "I ask you for nothing after what happened." "I'll go alone," says Adolphe, not wanting to be embarrassed by his wife. "I'm sure you are happy to go alone," says Caroline in a sharp tone. "You look very nice." 11 people are in the living room, all invited by Adolphe. Caroline is there too, looking like she was not invited. She is waiting for dinner to be served. "Sir," whispers the servant to Adolphe, "the cook does not know what to do." "What's the problem?" "You didn't tell her anything, sir." "She only made 2 side dishes, the beef, a chicken, a salad, and vegetables." "Caroline, didn't you give the right orders?" "How did I know you had guests? And I can't give orders here. You took that job away from me, and I thank heaven for it every day." Madame de Fichtemenoll comes to visit Caroline. She finds Caroline coughing weakly and bent over her sewing. "Oh, you're making those slippers for your dear Adolphe?" Adolphe is standing by the fireplace, looking very pleased. "No, madame, it's for a shopkeeper who pays me for them. Like prisoners, my work allows me to buy small treats for myself." Adolphe turns red. He cannot really be angry with his wife, and Madame de Fichtemenoll looks at him as if to ask, "What does this mean?" "You cough a lot, my dear," says Madame de Fichtemenoll. "Oh," says Caroline, "what is life to me?" Caroline is sitting and talking with a lady you know well, someone whose good opinion you really want to keep. From where you are talking with some friends, you see Caroline's lips say these words, "My husband wanted it this way." She says it like a young Roman woman going to be eaten by lions. You feel deeply hurt and want to hear what she is saying while also listening to your guests. You give strange replies, making your guests ask, "Why? What are you thinking of?" You have lost track of the talk and fidget nervously, thinking, "What is she telling her about me?" Adolphe is having dinner with the Descartes. 12 people are at the table, and Caroline is sitting next to a nice young man named Ferdinand, who is Adolphe's cousin. Between the first and second course, they talk about being happy in marriage. "There is nothing easier than for a woman to be happy," says Caroline to a woman who complains about her husband. "Tell us your secret, madam," says Mr. de Fichtemenoll nicely. "A woman has to do nothing. She must see herself as the first servant in the house or a slave the master cares for. She should have no will of her own and never make a comment. Then all goes well." She says this in a bitter tone and with tears in her voice, making Adolphe look closely at his wife. "You forget, madam, The joy of talking about one's happiness, he says, giving her a look like a mean character in a play. Feeling happy that she has shown herself as suffering or about to suffer, Caroline turns her head, quickly wipes away a tear, and says, "Happiness cannot be described." This event, as people say, leads to nothing, but Ferdinand sees his cousin as an angel about to be sacrificed. Someone talks about the commonness of stomach illnesses and other unknown diseases that young women die from. They are too lucky, says Caroline, as if she is predicting her own death. Adolphe's mother-in-law comes to see her daughter. Caroline says, "My husband's living room, your master's bedroom. Everything in the house belongs to my husband." "Why? What's the matter, children?" asks the mother-in-law. "You seem to be fighting." "Oh, dear me," says Adolphe. "It's just that Caroline was in charge of the house and didn't manage it well. That's all." "She got into debt, I suppose?" "Yes, dear mamma." "Look here, Adolphe," says the mother-in-law. "After waiting to be alone with her son, would you prefer my daughter to be nicely dressed and everything to go smoothly without it costing you anything? Imagine, if you can, Adolphe's face as he hears this idea of women's rights. Caroline leaves her old dress and appears in a beautiful one. She is at the Descartes. Everyone compliments her on her good taste, her rich clothes, her lace, and her jewels. "Ah, you have a lovely husband," says Madame Descartes. Adolphe lifts his head proudly and looks at Caroline. "My husband, madame. I cost that gentleman nothing, thank heaven. All I have was given by my mother." Adolphe turns suddenly and goes to talk with Madame de Fishtamanel. After a year of being the boss, Caroline says very softly one morning, "How much have you spent this year, dear?" "I don't know. Check your accounts." Adolphe finds out that he has spent a third more than during Caroline's worst year. "And I've cost you nothing for my dress," she adds. Caroline is playing Schubert's melodies. Adolphe enjoys hearing these songs played well. He gets up and compliments Caroline. She starts to cry. "What's the matter?" "Nothing. I'm nervous." "I didn't know you were like that." "Oh, Adolphe, you don't see anything. Look, my rings fall off my fingers. You don't love me anymore. I'm a burden to you." She cries. She won't listen. She cries more at every word Adolphe says. "Do you want to manage the house again?" She shouts, standing up quickly, like a toy figure in a box, "now that you've had enough of your experience." "Thank you. Do you think it's money that I want?" Strange way of making a hurt heart feel better. "No, go away." "Very well, just as you like, Caroline." This "just as you like" is the first sign that he doesn't care about his wife, and Caroline sees a deep hole before her where she had been walking by her own choice.